Currently, a number of African nations have lacrosse going on. That includes Kenya, that has Kenya lacrosse going on in different parts of the country. That is in Nairobi, the central, and in western Kenya. Over 5 different girls' schools playing lacrosse, and mostly men's lacrosse and boys lacrosse is more popular in the central. There are lacrosse programs going on in Malawi, and Liz Crouch, or a volunteer lacrosse player, former player and a journalist who has happened to make different travels to Africa, and she's willing to work with the world of lacrosse to develop lacrosse in Malawi. In Zambia, there is lacrosse in schools, 3 different international schools, meaning that is also a stepping stone in Zambia. In South Africa, lacrosse has been there over 8 years, but it is still played on a low level, meaning that our role now is to step up its development and influencing them to be able to actively or to aggressively take on the government and register the National Association and be able to step up their competitiveness to be able to represent Africa in the World Championships. And then Nigeria has lacrosse, and the person or the brain behind lacrosse in Nigeria, Mr. Larry from New York, Panthers lacrosse. He has been to Uganda on different occasions, and he is very interested in the growth and development of lacrosse in African states, and certainly here in Uganda. And there is also a lacrosse playground in Rwanda. So those are potential 6 nations that already have some lacrosse that is going on, meaning that if there is a very organized force to enable these young players and creative minds trying to start up lacrosse programs, if there is support, we could see a number of people adopt the game and multiply the competitiveness of the game in Africa. Currently, as a person, my focus is to be able to facilitate the 6 nations with all the management knowledge that I have and the strategies, how they can be able to start their projects, look at which type of talent to attract and nurture, how to keep these children and young players motivated, and how to raise a team that is sustainable and that will attract many other juniors and other players to join the game for a going concern. I'm actively also involved in the marketing of the game of lacrosse, and I'm certainly proud of that. And it's on those skills, mostly as a player of lacrosse, as a coach of junior teams in Uganda, as a TV personality who is always on TV twice a month talking about sports, different sports, as a model or as a role model, a person who speaks to motivate, as a strategist, as a friend, as a game lover, as an open one heart. I come to you saying, look, we can form a synergy that can bring dreams of millions of children in Africa to come to pass. and billions of dreams across the globe. Because as lacrosse is a fast-growing game, so many people in different continents are getting involved each and every day. They are willing to learn and to join the game competitively. So this creates a fertile ground for both the African child and the world citizen to have an experience, to have these people play together for good reasons, for the charity reasons, for competition reasons, and also for sports entrepreneurship reasons, which is a wave that is taking on the world today, which we must appreciate as the lacrosse community. I wish to thank you for taking time to consider this video. Once again, I am called Twesime Liberty from Kampala, Uganda. Been in lacrosse management and playing for now 4 years consecutively, and continuously pushing that we can grow and evolve and become a bigger force to economy that is skill-wise and development-wise, because we have a lot of potential to tap into here in Africa. And I'll be willing to work with any lacrosse athlete or any lacrosse company or a nation that steps up to formulate strategies of how lacrosse can be able to grow down here, how we can be able to grow and open up doors for young children. Children in school, children certainly we don't go to school, can have an equal opportunity to play lacrosse, to interact at different levels, and you never know how this might turn up. Lacrosse is popular in schools, in universities, and Africa is adopting education. So certainly if grown-up countries or already established countries have these lacrosse programs in schools, and then Africa is also adopting education for the better future, you see, lacrosse would bridge a gap between these same interests, and certainly we could look at people crossing or developing through the game, also impacting on lives in different fronts. We have people in different professions in lacrosse. We have doctors, we have army servicemen, we have pilots. This means if another lacrosse child in Hong Kong or in China or South Korea or in Africa, in Uganda, Kenya or Malawi or Nigeria, if they pick up the stick, they'll be able to speak the same language and find the same motivation, and they could end up doing the same kind of work. And I think that is what the game is for, to impact on lives of the athletes and the communities that are involved. I'll be grateful for your feedback. My email is liberty.twesime@gmail.com, and I'm on Twitter @Twesime is my handle, on Facebook Twesime Liberty, and you can find all the Africa Lacrosse development news on Twitter and Facebook, or through email, that is facebook.com/Africa Lacrosse, and on Twitter the handle is @Africa Lacrosse, and the email is africalacrosse@gmail.com. We can share this information, we can share development stories, strategies, support physically, morally, and we see how to make a unified, glorified Africa Lacrosse development initiative that can have hoteliers, and you see if we can have an Africa Lacrosse Championship in the offing in 2, 3, 4 years down the road, as also lacrosse used to be in the Olympics again. It will be very vital for Africa to be very competitive towards the Olympics, so that we can be able to easily bring down the International Olympic Committee to appreciate the energy and the efforts of lacrosse athletes all over the world, because that is a common interest. If all continents are equally involved. They will have no choice but to allow us to compete in the Olympics. Thank you very much for viewing this video. I send you regards from down here in Kampala, Uganda, Africa, and I say thank you for taking the time, and thank you for sharing it with your friend, a lacrosse friend. And we hope together, me, you, your friend, your coach, your school, your town council, together we can be able to merge our efforts and impact on the growth and development of Africa lacrosse development initiatives that we already look at the 6 countries in Nigeria, Uganda, Kenya, Rwanda, Malawi, Zambia, and South Africa. Thank you very much for viewing this video. God bless you always. Bye bye.